there, Dr. Elizabeth Hughes here. Hey, I want to talk today about fatigue, which I've become increasingly concerned about as this hidden epidemic. So many of the people I see as a doctor and as a health coach have fatigue. And I don't mean just tired, I don't mean just a bad night's sleep. I mean the type of tiredness that doesn't go away with a good night's sleep. You get whatever you're supposed to have at 7 hours, 8 hours, and you don't feel well. I also am talking about the type of fatigue where, you can't make it through a day. You crash in the middle of the day, and then you just, after a weekend, you just take a whole day to recover. If you have a day off and you still don't feel well. That's the type of fatigue I'm talking about, which is a big deal. Most of us ignore that. Most of us think that might be something that is kind of a cost of growing old or cost of being alive, but it's really not. It's actually costing you. There's a Harvard study which estimated that $136 billion of productivity is lost every year because of fatigue. That's a huge amount. That's so big you almost can't wrap your head around it. But for you personally, just the person who has fatigue, this comes at a cost of your time. Because what do people do when they have fatigue? They will usually hang on to work, and they'll usually hang on to whatever duties they have to do, and you rob yourself. You end up taking away from things you're passionate about. You end up taking away from hobbies. You end up taking away from enjoyment or trips or setting aside social activities. You rob yourself when you are fatigued. It doesn't have to be like that. But most of us just assume this is normal. And I know when I had this problem, I thought this was the normal. This was my new normal. It was okay and normal to feel tired all the time, to barely be able to get out of bed, to fall asleep at night, just crash, and to wake up in the morning feeling like, what hit me? I thought that was okay. It's not. Now, if you're like me, when I was having that level of fatigue, I went to my doctor and I said, what's wrong with me that's causing this? Well, not surprisingly, nothing technically was wrong with me. So and now, from a new perspective, from looking now, I realized that trying to figure out what made me tired was actually preventing me from fixing my fatigue. Because you don't have to figure out what is causing fatigue in order to start to reverse it. People will go and look for experts. People will get tons of tests looking for what's the cause. Do I have chronic fatigue syndrome? Do I have adrenal fatigue? Or they'll know what they have. I have cancer or something like that. And they will believe that unless that problem is reversed, their fatigue won't go away. You can actually bypass the waiting for the problem to go away and just immediately start to improve your energy level. There are ways to do this. There's another thing that most people do, and I know I did it, which is to try changing your diet. And that's super popular, super common. We see tons of diets out there that say, this is, you're going to change your life by just avoiding one thing or eating in one specific way. That's not really what you need to do. To take a car analogy, that's like trying to put unleaded gas or, premium gas, let's say, in a car with a dead battery. Doesn't matter what good you put in, unless your body is ready to take in the nutrients, it's not going to make a difference. And fatigue is actually your own body's sort of metabolic exhaustion that you can't change with medicine. You can't change with diet. You can't change it with what we think of as medicine. It needs to be changed in a totally and completely different way. I have a quick challenge for you, a quick question I want to ask you. What would you do if you had 20% more energy? Now, 20% more, people say, well, that's not much. I want 100% more energy. I want to double my energy. 20% more is significant. 20% more energy, a 20% better day, gives you that time to feel good through the whole day. It gives you time to go socialize. It gives you time to pursue your passions. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe you have another project that you want to do. That 20% energy means that you don't drag yourself through the day and stumble into bed without fulfilling all of those important things, the things that really make you happy and whole. It turns out that the solution to fatigue is often doing those things even though they seem impossible. But just as baby steps, little baby steps that make a big difference, that can make the difference between a day where you fall asleep tired but wake up refreshed, or you fall asleep feeling like you've been hit by a truck. There is a way to reverse fatigue. There are ways to reverse fatigue without relying on medicine, without relying on yucky diets or supplements, or having to go and find the actual cause. Not that you don't want to reverse the cause at some point, but you can jumpstart your fatigue and start to feel better right away. Little incremental differences that add up over the course of a few months into what feels like a new, healthy, fatigue-proof life. So I have a challenge for you. If you are interested, I'll be talking a lot more about fatigue over the next few weeks. So if you're interested in fatigue and you're interested in ways that you can reverse it, if you follow my page or like this, or just bookmark it and come back and see me again, I'll be doing more broadcasts over the next few weeks about things you can do that can reverse fatigue that don't require all the yucky stuff that we're told we think we need. Okay. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it, and I will be back again soon. Until then, bye for now.